Here at the Level Up Co., Kelley and I truly do believe that an elevated client experience from the very first touch point of that first email all the way through the delivery of your wedding films or those final galleries are all so important. And that's why Kelley and I both have been using and loving VidFlow for the last several years, and we recommend to all of our students and our audience members to use VidFlow as well. Delivery experience truly matters. The way your clients view their films for the very first time should be a magical moment. It needs to be a professional and branded experience, instead of basic file sharing like Dropbox or Google Drive, or even Vimeo or YouTube links. Through VidFlow, clients can stream their videos through smart TVs, streaming devices, and setup boxes. Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, you name it. There are so many options for clients to watch and experience their films for the very first time on the big screen at home. And VidFlow is now offering photo delivery as well. They now support photo delivery with their new hybrid galleries, which is a major benefit for hybrid shooters and combined photo and video teams. You can now deliver your beautiful photo galleries alongside your video galleries in one place. Level up your delivery experience for 2026 and beyond with VidFlow. You can get started today by going to vidflow.co/thelevelupco. This is the Level Up Podcast. I'm Taylor Petrnovich.
And I'm Kelley Gilster of 618 Studios.
And we are on a mission to help wedding filmmakers and photographers level up their businesses so you can make more and work less.
We want to help you confidently take your business from mainstream to luxury, and it all starts right here. Well, hello, friends, and thank you so much for joining me for another conversation here on the Level Up Co podcast. I am here with my friend next to me, Bailey Pianalto. Bailey, can you introduce yourself to the listeners?
Yes. Hello, I'm Bailey Pianalto, and I'm a wedding photographer based in Kansas City, but I get to photograph all over the country and the world.
That's amazing. And how many years have you been in business?
This will be coming into my 12th season.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm. That's great. So when was that? 2015?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yep.
That's awesome. I would love to hear, because I'm a storyteller and I love an origin story. I want to kind of hear how you got into this and what your very first wedding was like.
Oh, gosh. So I always knew I wanted to be a business owner, but I didn't quite know what that was going to look like. I actually kind of thought for a while that I was going to have some sort of like brick and mortar store or something like more of a product-based business. And then I got more into photography and I built up this hobby, and I thought, oh, I'm going to be the next Samantha Brown, if anyone knows who Samantha Brown is. And I'm going to set myself apart with my amazing travel photos. And so I went down that route for a bit. And while I was building that photography business, I photographed my first engagement session. And I did it for free. It was 2 friends. I had no idea what I was doing. And after that session, I was like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
Photographing people, emotions, that anticipation was so much more exciting than photographing, like a beautiful beach or a great hotel. And from that point, I just beelined towards building that business.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have anyone who inspired you along the way to get into photography, or was this just something that came naturally to you and was something you were always interested in?
It's something I've always been interested in. Even from a young age, there was a time when I was really young, I learned the term cinematographer in the movies, and I thought, oh, that's a job that you get to set the composition and the lighting and the scene. And so there was a while that I was really interested in that. So it's always been kind of this like bubbling up undercurrent in my life.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been in the industry for 12 years now, which is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. You're doing destination work still, although you're in Kansas City.
Yes.
Do you have any sort of a base of a local market or not really?
I do. I say about at least half my weddings a year are local to Kansas City. And I'm very lucky for that because there's something to be said about getting to sleep in your own bed every night. But my ultimate goal is to do at least half outside of Kansas City.
Okay, cool. Amazing. Okay, I have one other question because I just love to know like the origin of all the things.
Mm-hmm.
What was an area where you pinpoint back to a year of growth that just felt set apart from the rest? And what do you think attributed to that?
I would say I actually talked about this in my breakout session during hybrid this year. And I would say it was probably 2023. And that was the first year I went to hybrid. And it was that very first time that I was exposed to the wider world of weddings and different definitions of success in the industry, different voices, different viewpoints. And it broke me out of my little local markets bubble and made me realize, like, oh my gosh, there's other routes, there's other options than just trying to follow this kind of like straight and narrow path that just didn't quite fit for me personally. So that was really, really groundbreaking. I remember sitting in the airport, um, coming back from that and like almost crying, talking to my husband, being like, "Oh my gosh, like, I have to change everything." Like, it was almost kind of as like, "Oh, this is what I was missing, is understanding this like broader world."
Yeah, that's so true. Like being able to, had you been doing much networking before that? Hybrid was your very first thing?
I had not been doing much networking. I mean, certainly within my own market, but nothing outside of my local market. So that was really that turning point for me.
That's great. I love that. And then did that turning point turn into like direct revenue as like increase in prices, or was it mainly demand or just clarity in your business?
So, that's a great question. It was more clarity, but certainly also increase in revenue because now I can look back and see that through line, but helped me see that I needed to rebrand, redirect my marketing, change a lot of the sales tactics I was doing to be able to increase my prices. So I guess I would say it did indirectly help me with my price increase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so great. Taylor and I here at the Level Up Co., we don't believe in just like increasing prices to increase prices. I mean, sure, if you're booking 2 years out in advance with a full calendar of 30 weddings every single year, obviously you probably need to make some changes in your pricing. But when you want to start making that exponential growth and stuff, it's exactly what you said. It's a change of the brand, the ethos of the brand, different sales tactics is huge because we always say like the tools that worked for you in year 2, 3, 4, 5 aren't going to be the same tools that are going to carry you into the next market and will be received well with different types of clients in years 7 and above. So it's so true. Because I think so often we're like, we found something that works. And it's like you take your it's almost like taking your route from like home to school and you take the same route like every single time. And then all of a sudden you decide like, oh, I actually want to like get to school a little bit faster, but I'm just so comfortable and it's muscle memory for me to take this route. And it'll be kind of jarring and it makes me think a little bit harder in order to take a different route. And so this is something that we walk our mastermind students too, as far as like changing maybe the CRM that they're using or changing the way in which the CRM is set up or changing the way in which the conversations over emails are happening or when the collections are sent and all those things. Because there are sales tactics that work really well for that 5K client. And then there's sales tactics that work really well for that 25K client. And then little gaps in between as you grow.
Yeah.
Hey listeners, Kelley here. Taylor and I are so excited to be bringing a brand new free training to our listeners and entire audience. It is called Booking the Next Generation of Couples, and it's all geared towards what we're seeing in real time with the buying psychology and behaviors of Gen Z brides and grooms who are getting married this year, next year, and for the years to come. We want to ensure that you're not making the mistakes of marketing to yesterday's couple and that you're setting yourself up for success over the next decade to be able to speak to really confidently, book, and be able to serve this next generation of clients really, really well. As photographers and filmmakers, it's so important that we continue to evolve in our business, and we are really excited that on July 29th, we're going to be opening up this new class. We'll be teaching live for 1 hour and teaching what we are seeing currently in the market and what you can do to change and fix your business for a really profitable 2027. Taylor and I hope to see you there. You can head over to thelevelupco.com/Gen Z to register, and we look forward to seeing you on July 29th.
And what's interesting also, though, is that, at least in my experience, there are certain baselines of basics that no matter where you are, they still work.
Oh, for sure. Like being quick on your communication,
the networking, the follow through, those relationships that you're building, those little things.
Yeah.
But that's just the baseline.
Yeah, it's like the basic trust building. So like making
Mhm.
sure that you're delivering your galleries within your contracted obligations, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this is so cool. Now looking at 2026, what is it that you're most excited for in your business that you maybe never thought was possible in year 2022?
Ooh. I feel like there's so much. Because when I started out, I just wanted somebody to pay me.
Yeah.
But this year, I feel like that clarity is just getting better. And I feel like my instincts are getting sharper of knowing what's the noise, what can I cut out, and what are the changes or decisions I want to make that I know are going to be the right thing for my business.
Oh,
And
good.
so I'm excited to be really kind of spending this year laser focusing on pushing to my next level.
That's great. That's cool. There is so much noise. Like, and there's multiple platforms that we could be showing up on. There's so many different publications to seek after, lists, like all that stuff. I actually had a question. So, we've been doing some episodes where people at this conference come in and ask us like a question and like put us in the hot seat, basically. And this girl that I spoke with was so sweet. And she's like, how did it make you feel when you were put on like these top lists? And I was like, I actually have never been on a top list. And did that mess with me in like some of those years? Yes, like it got in my head. But then I realized like it's kind of just internal noise. It doesn't change the fact that I'm still delivering a great product to the client. And I'm sure you agree.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. And I'm actually going to be attending Eric Kelley's masterclass after this. And it's talking about like being okay in the fourth place
I love
and
that.
knowing that you can still feel successful and find your definition of success without feeling like you're, you know, top 3 or something like that.
I love that. That's so cool. Being happy in fourth place. That's great. Because, yeah, we've had students in our program or colleagues of mine that have scaled upwards in the industry and gotten to a point where they were like, this is so great. And I'm happy I had this experience to work in this like higher production level of weddings. And I know that obviously at Level Up, we talk about from mainstream to luxury, but there's plenty of students of ours or just people here that or people listening that are like, I would be so happy if I could just like be in like the lovely market and do my 15 weddings a year at 10K. And that would be an amazing life for me. And I think I would be happy with like that workload rather than charging 25 weddings a year, but only being able to book 6. Like it just is like what makes you tick and what works for you.
Exactly. And being okay with that and not feeling like that is somehow lesser than what we're told is supposed to be successful in this industry.
Yeah. That's cool. So sitting here in 2026, I don't know if I got the follow-up answer, but what are you most excited for in your business?
I am most excited to keep expanding my network. It's taking longer than I thought to branch out of my local markets. And I'm excited I just feel really invigorated from this conference to just keep pushing and keep grinding and keep, like I said, following my instincts because I think I know what I need to do. I just need to take that energy and turn it up to an 11.
Yeah, that's so good. I feel like, okay, going back to the time frame, you said it took a little bit longer because I think that one of the things because of where we are in the industry and like in the world, and there's so many places to look and comparison, I feel like is at an all-time high where almost people are comparing like their year 2 to someone's year 7.
Right. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes. And when it came to the time frame and because people are looking in all these different directions, I think it's like they're looking for that like Amazon like quick delivery. And when they try something, they're really quickly pivoting too soon away from that strategy. In your mind, how long did you think it would take and how much time is it actually taken to see that traction through? It's just so like a listener can kind of have like a clear idea of what that may be the similar case for them so they don't feel discouraged.
Oh, sure. I think I knew that to some degree, I knew it would take at least 18 months because the nature of our industry, say, best case scenario, you meet a planner in some networking event, you really hit it off, and they send you an inquiry the next month. You're probably not photographing that wedding and therefore getting that new shiny destination portfolio for another year at best. So that's going to take time to just build the portfolio.
Yes.
So I think I knew it would take at least 18 months, and we're closer to the 24-month mark of when I kind of started that goal.
Okay.
And I am building that traction and building those networkings, but we're not quite there.
Yeah. I love you said 18 months. That's exactly what we tell our students. We're like, we can give you this. And a lot of students will see these like quick win moments of like little injections of wins, which is great. And that like keeps us invigorated and going. But when it comes to actually changing like the external presence of how people view our businesses at the levels in which they're operating at, it really does take 18 months.
Yes,
you're right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey friends, really quickly, I'm going to interrupt this podcast episode because I just want to say we are so grateful to have you as listeners. Heading into our 2026 wedding season and into 2027 next year, we just know that so much is on the horizon for you. Because you're listening to this podcast, that means you are a really ambitious photographer or filmmaker, or maybe a content creator in the wedding industry who has sights set on the next level of business. The Luxury Mastermind program, which is our signature program here at the Level Up Co., is going to help you do just that. We have helped hundreds of wedding filmmakers and photographers elevate their businesses into that next level. A great example of this is Skylar Ball, who is a wedding filmmaker based in Tennessee, who was charging $3,500 per wedding when he joined our program, and now 18 months later, he's consistently booking at $12,000. We've had other students book their first five-figure wedding during our program, and we've had many, many students be able to double and triple their prices, which sounds crazy, but it's actually true, and we are so proud of them. If you are ready to see growth like that, if you're ready to get to that next level in business, book out your calendar year with weddings at a price point that you feel so proud of, and with weddings that are artistically fulfilling for you and that are just so fun to capture, we would love to welcome you inside our next round of the Luxury Mastermind. We are currently pre-enrolling seats before we officially launch, and students who pre-enroll get a bonus one-on-one coaching call with Kelley or myself, which is something we absolutely do for our students as a little thank you for signing up early. You can go to thelevelupco.com/mastermind to learn more about the program, see what's inside, and to pre-enroll. That should be linked in the description box down below if you're watching on YouTube, or linked in the description if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Kelley and I are so excited for our next cohort of the Luxury Mastermind, and we hope to see you in there so that we can guide you to that next level of business and beyond.
Amazing. Is there anything else that you would want to tell the listeners, maybe someone who hasn't maybe had that pivotal year of change yet? What would you encourage them to do?
I would encourage them to think back on, and depending on how long they've been in a business, think on those early years and think about what worked for them then. And think about if they're kind of those tried and true, like the networking, the consistency, the relationships. See if they keep doing those. If they've kind of fallen off on that, consider starting, like kind of re-energizing those baseline tactics. That's what I would recommend.
Great. Yeah. They may like just be like so inside of their echo chamber that they might not be seeing like how things need to be changed or following through and going back to the basics, like you said.
Yeah. Just go back to the basics and start there and see, am I doing the basics? So do I need to be adding something different, or do I need to be going back to the basics just to begin with?
Or even like subtracting something out.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There's like so many things where we like subtract things out of our businesses. And Taylor and I too, like back in the early years, like I was sending my clients like so many emails, and be thinking it was like value.
Yes.
And
I'm your best friend. I'm so helpful.
Yes. Like, let me tell you like which restaurant you should go to on your date night, like type of thing, because and yes, okay, sure. Like, I mean, that's a great one-off conversation if you're shooting their engagement session and then you're just kind of like doing some chatting back and you talk about something. And then I've totally done like a follow-up email of like, oh, let me think about that place that I've told you about. I'll send you an email and like tell you about it. That's like a different thing than like, now it's time to write your custom vows. We're 2 months out from the wedding. Like those types of like emails, like of like the hand holding of the clients that we have even found like students who enter our program and then exit the program. So many people are so like blown away at the how it's streamlined. And I'm sure yours is the same way. Like do you feel like you like handheld your clients more, wanted to be more like their friend instead of maybe stepping into that like professional role with a friendly appearance and support, but like it's more transactional now at this like higher level?
Yes, definitely. Or in my early years, I was definitely, I mean, it's also because I was working in those early years less often with a planner. So guess who was coordinating?
Yep.
So I almost needed those conversations in the early years. And it did make sense then, or maybe it made sense then. But as I have grown and as I have a different client who has different needs, different priorities, different levels of time, they don't need those hand holdings because they have other people on the team who are doing it.
Yeah.
And actually, in a way, it's interesting because I've been thinking that some of that hand holding or connection points might be a better way of saying it is I put that energy towards the planning team.
Yeah.
And we're focused less on collaborating directly with the clients.
Yeah.
Because they know they've hired people to handle it. They've hired me to handle it. So that means I'm now working with the planner and collaborating with them behind the scenes leading up to the wedding to make sure that we are in lockstep. We know the plan. We're doing all the problem solving so that we can meet the client's needs and meet their expectations, but not having to drag them into it.
Yeah. That's so good. And we have to like, I hope that someone who's listening was like, maybe replay back 30 seconds to what Bailey just said, because that's so good. And it gives us that like, get out of our head mindset that this is okay. It's like permission that like, oh, this is like the new way in which things like could be great. And yes, it's like the planner's replacing the client in all of those types of things. And you don't really need to, because I always say like the planners are the general contractors. So if you were to think of like someone who's building a home and they've hired a general contractor to handle all of the subs, how annoying would it be if like the electrician was trying to like get to you when you're like, I hired the general contractor to do this so that I don't have to be talking to all 20 of the subs that are working on the house.
That's such a good, can you ask Barry, please? Not me.
Yeah. I love that.
That's such a good point. Yeah. And also, they're not going to know the answer necessarily in this metaphor, like, but the contractor will.
Yeah.
And the planner will know the answers way faster and more clearly than the client will.
Yeah, that's so good. All right, looking ahead at 2027, 2028, 2029, what are 3 big goals that you have for yourself and your business?
Okay. Number 1 is to have consistently at least 6 weddings a year outside of my local markets. I feel like it's like peaks and valleys where I've gotten that number of weddings outside Kansas City, but it's never been every year. So I want that consistency. The second is to continue to kind of clean up my sales strategy and streamline it so that I feel a lot more clarity and confidence in those inquiry meetings, and I can have a higher conversion rates. Because right now I feel like I'm just kind of floundering and not taking my own advice and kind of trying to sell to everyone when I need to be selling to my ideal clients.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, when we like come up with this new ideal client avatar, it's a constant reworking
Yes.
on the back end of the business to make sure that we're speaking to them. And so I think that's great. And I think too, like permission to know that although you do have an ideal client, I'm not booking my ideal client every single time.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably aren't either. But what we're showcasing through the brand is consistent and has a through line of that so that we're able to attract that ideal client when they come their way, and the budget aligns and the date aligns of availability. And like there's so many things that all the puzzle pieces that fall into place to make it happen. But you have to have the right pieces to be able to, for it to put all together. And that's where it comes into like 1, understanding who that is, 2, understanding how to attract them through various things. I know you know all of this. I'm just like chatting with the listeners so they can be like nodding along with us.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just like little like fireworks are going off my brain because I'm like, this is exactly what I talked about in my breakout session.
I love that. I love that.
Talking about how you have to be positioning yourself to be selling to your ideal clients, but be able to sell to anyone that walks through the door. But you want to be always attracting your ideal client. So when they come in the door, that it's just a hell yes for them. Instead of a like, oh, I don't know, why not, Susie Q instead? and also be quietly repelling any other non-ideal clients, so that opens up that space in your calendar and in your time and your energy for when that perfect ideal white whale of a client like comes through the door.
I love that. Well,
Mhm.
cool. Well, this has been so great, Bailey. I hope you've enjoyed being here on the podcast, because I've enjoyed
Thank you. It's
having
been
you.
so fun.
Yeah, before you head out, can you just again say where the listeners may find you and become familiarized with your work?
For sure. I mean, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, my website. It's all just Bailey Pianalto. And I know it's not the easiest last name to spell, but it's fine.
Maybe spell it for them so
Oh, sure.
that they can.
It's Bailey like the drink, Bailey, and then Pianalto, Pianalto.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Bailey.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us in today's conversation. Please help us reach more filmmakers and photographers like you by taking a screenshot and sharing it to social media. And don't forget to tag us at The Level Up Co.
And join us again next week, same time, same place, as we continue to level up the industry together.